All you do is sit and either agree or disagree silently. Yeah. Yeah.
You want me to go ahead and mute all?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, okay, go ahead and unmute.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for showing up again. It's the weekly meeting with about something that has nothing to do with time, so it sort of seems strange. But I wanted to read something tonight. I don't know if I've done it before at this meeting, but it's a statement from Huang Po. So when people hear the mind teaching, they get excited. They think there is something to be got. They then fervently engage in this or that practice, thinking that they will get something. Unfortunately, they do not see that their own mind and the thing they expect to find are one and the same thing. If you use your mind to try to get something from mind, you will never achieve anything ever, though you practice like this for billions of years. Wow. So, it's funny when you ever listen to people, you usually try to find things that agree with how you see it. Yeah. So it's not difficult with Huang Po. So basically, it's what we're saying. You can't approach non-duality like you do everything else. If you approach non-duality, it's a disarming. It stops you in your tracks because exactly that statement, you basically can't use mind to find mind. Yeah. And the implied uh, intention of that statement is that's probably exactly what's happening right now. Yeah. There's a using of mind to find mind. Now, that using of mind may be called Paul to find mind, but Paul is AKA mind, big M mind. Yeah. So basically, the same thing in recovery. We have a statement self can't get out of self. Now, many people are in that experience all day, but how it's interpreted is Paul can't get out, cannot get out of self because Paul isn't managing as well as he could. He hasn't done enough. He's got to find the right methodology, and then I'm pretty damn sure Paul can get out of self. But in this state, Paul is just like the other example, aka mind, is not going to. You can't use mind to find mind. Well, you can't use self to get out of self. It doesn't work. Yes? So the idea is there's something that's obscuring things or causing things to be very, very confusing because there's an act of being identified. Yeah, I'm not saying anyone is in that act of being identified, but the mental state is in the act of being identified as an image of us, yeah, as a thing that can be remembered, that can be projected into a future. It's remembered when you're worrying about yourself in the future. It's a remembering of this idea of being a thing. The memories support the idea of you being a thing. The thoughts are all about you as a thing that has the attributions of doing, thinking, seeing, feeling, tasting, touching, smelling. All of those, all of those activities must be grounded and founded in me as the doer of. This is just the bondage of self. And uh, it fails us in so many ways, and it will fail us once again in the idea of non-duality, because you're not going to get it. Yeah, you're not going to understand it. You're not going to experience it because that would mean you were something other than it. And in this case, you're not. See, if I was, wanted to find a pants, I could study about pants. I could know about pants, and maybe someone would point where I could find some pants. Yeah, and every other thing that I'm not, I could probably use the same MO, and I'd arrive at getting a pair of pants. But you can't apply that same modality to what you are. And this is the dilemma, because people do not believe they are what they're looking for. They don't. They wouldn't have this giant urge to look for it. See, so there's a huge investment in the being the looker for it, and that looker for it can rest assured there's no danger, because it knows it ain't going to be found, because it's what you are. So it can look and look and look. It can go Kabbalah, it can go fundamental Christian, it can go Buddhist, it can go fucking pagan, it can do whatever it wants, assured that it's never going to find what can't be lost. So it's far out. Bring on the next modality. And if the modality doesn't work, I'll get the extreme version or the new radical version. But like we joke about here, 2021, what's new in non-duality? Nothing. There's nothing new in it. It's just the same message. You're not that which is looking for, but you are what's looking. Yes? But you're not that which is looking for, but you are what's looking. Yeah. So it's a trick. So I don't know what to say. It just goes around that same point. And that's the reason why hearing the message of non-duality has to come with some warnings, because in a way it's so beautiful. The idea of non-duality puts what you're not into stark contrast. For some reason or another, when you start hearing non-duality and have a modicum of understanding, you start seeing something that you used to look from. You start seeing the activity. Maybe you just see it as the activity that supports Paul, but after a while you see there is no Paul. There's just an activity that implies Paul. Yeah? But maybe first you see the activity and you still believe you're doing it, and you feel guilty about that, and you feel like I got to stop doing it, which just is more doing it. But it's going to lead to a realization that all that pointing, you make the leap of being the moon. There's no moon in this example. There's just pointing. Yeah? The pointing isn't to a moon. The pointing is you already are a moon. Yeah? See, this is the thing. With the idea of being Paul, it's not like you're in the act of becoming Paul. The assumption is you have been Paul, you are Paul, and you're probably gonna be Paul. So it's like it's totally different, because it assumes something that isn't so. Yeah. So when the thing that's implying you is noticed, it's usually framed as you're the you that's noticing the implying of you. So the person calls me and says, "Oh, I understand that term selfing, and I've been doing it all day." No, that's not it, you see. The feeling of being the doer of the selfing is the product of the selfing. Yeah? So the selfing projects the product, and the product is presupposed before all the activity. So now it just sounds natural. I caught myself selfing today, or selfing has been driving me crazy. Those are both examples of the conveyor belt of selfing working in a way, because that which was implied is now taken to be so. Yeah? See, it's tricky. It's not that which is implied you're inevitably going to become. No, because you could probably opt out there. It says that which is implied is already so. And for some of us, the discomfort in that basis drives us to fucking drink and to get loaded, because there doesn't seem to be any other option. I can't stop becoming self. I can't, get out of the contract that I'm going to be self, because the fact is there's an assumption I am self and I'm always going to be self. Yeah? That really limits the possibility. So this whole idea is you see the mechanical attribution of a noun to every verb that's claimed, but then you start recognizing yeah, there's a noun implied, but I'm not the noun being implied. And actually, there is no noun, period. Yeah. And then something occurs, and now you see you more as an activity than as a historical fact. Yeah. Yeah. And that for me is the freedom from the bondage of self. There may be bondage and there's maybe free, but there's not going to be a self that's bound or a self that's going to be free. It's the bondage of self. It's something other than there's a self that's bound and the self is going to be free. There is no long lasting, independent, separate entity in an absolute sense. Yeah. So we're trying to get out of something that we're not in. That's truly why it doesn't work. Yeah. You're trying to get out of something that you're not in. See, the assumption is, I'm definitely in here. Now give me a methodology to get out of here. And then when the methodologies fail, usually the guilt is turned on the practitioner, and now you think you're a terrible Buddhist, or you're not a good meditator, or you should have kissed that foot of the guru a little longer, or whatever. Or in this case, you should have donated a lot more, which may actually get you closer to Paul. It may. I'd give it a good shot. So this whole idea is just seeing, which is our innate quality. We're not asking for anything else. We're just seeing what's happening. Yeah? And instead of allowing what's happening to be claimed and used to imply that you already are that, yeah, you see the claiming of what's happening, and the product doesn't get sold. Yeah, you don't buy the product anymore. Yeah. So there's selfing, but there's no self. Instead of there's a self that's selfing. When you don't see the selfing, there's a self. And when you see the selfing, it's obviously there is no self. Yeah, truly. Yeah. So, all right, thank you. Open up the Zoom gates.
Anybody want to raise their hand?
Well, Mike, I'm going to say my goodbyes.
Okay, no, Robert raised his hand,
Oh, Robert,
and then John R.
you just got right in there at the end. All right, Robert.
Hi, Paul.
Hey,
I wasn't going to say something today, but just an interesting experience today or this week. Can you hear me?
yes, I can. I just lost myself. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good. Um, I've been doing the same sort of work, same sort of job for nearly 60 years, and I'm retired, but I got called back to work to do some fill-in for this company, and I went back there. This is about seeing. It was totally different than what it ever was before. It's the same but different. And you often describe it as comedy. Well, that's exactly what it was. It was just comedy. It wasn't pretty comedy, but it was comedy. So yeah, that's it really. I'm just seeing it from a different perspective.
There you go. I know we use the word just, but it's seeing it from a different perspective. which is truly monumental in a way. Yeah?
Mm.
Because, first of all, what we've relied on usually doesn't allow that possibility to be noticed unless you take some heavy drugs and then get arrested, probably. So, but the perspective can change, yeah, without altering it from outside situations. Just by the recognition of certain facts, things change. Yes.
Yeah.
Some of the simplest messages have echoed over and over and over again. Yeah. I mean, this whole idea, if you really see it, it's like a bizarro world because a lot of us are truly wanting to get out of what we're not in, and we want to get into what we're not out of. Yeah. So you look at that big movement. I don't know if they're still selling it, but at one point there was a big movement, a lot of books about how to get into the moment. Yeah. Or you know what I mean? Or how to extend the moment that you just luckily got into, or whatever. There was this whole thing that was predicated on an insane idea that you could be out of a moment. It was just assumed that's a fact, yeah? No one stopped the presses and said, wait a minute, before we put out all these books about how to get in the moment, what the fuck? Who proclaimed that we could be out of a moment? I like to know. You didn't have that feeling when you were a kid. You know, it's we grew into this insane idea. And then it just becomes the new norm, the new normal. And now we're believing a few thoughts imply that we're out of the moment. It's fucking insane. The worshiping of the head. It really is. The head pontificates, says, oh, you're really out of the moment. And then sometimes it gives you at least 500 miles and it's going to take at least 10 days to get back into the moment. And then when you get into the moment, there's a huge cloud of the possibility that anything could take you out of the moment. You know what I mean? It's freaking insane. And then the same thing, if you truly believe you're in something, yeah, it truly limits the outs that are available. Really, the only out that works is before the in. Yeah. If you're in something that you're not, let's say, then that in, the only real out is before the in, not after the in, because after the in, the out leads back to the in. The in demands a drive to get out. The out doesn't last too long. Because you're the carrier of both viruses, so to speak. The in and out, you're there. You're not, we don't see our influence. We're in when we're out, and we're out when we're in. So it doesn't matter if we get in or out, because it just switches. Once you're in, then you feel like you're out. Once you're out, you feel like you're going back in. It doesn't work. It's just like mental gymnastics, and you're like sort of glued to the seat, and you got to watch the whole gymnastic routine. Even though you know it's rigged, everyone's going to get a 5 or 4, but you got to watch the whole thing. Oh, here it comes again. The somersault, whatever. But what happens if, hey, this drive to get out of what I'm not in can be clearly seen. A result of that can be clearly seen as self can't get out of self. Yeah. So we're trying to get out of something we're not in, as what we're not. Yeah. And then the obvious one about you're out of the moment and in the moment is obvious. Have you actually ever been out of any moment? Your head has told you you have, but if you look at the surveillance tapes, you were there. You know what I mean? You've always been here. Some people always get in touch with me and said, I've disappeared for a few weeks. Well, who's telling me that you've been disappeared? If you had truly disappeared, there would be no reporting back that you had disappeared, you know? What disappears is that which would tell you you've disappeared. So, you've been out to lunch all day. No, you haven't. Yeah, but there's a belief that that's true. And then what does it do? It provokes, that agitation provokes action. And then we get caught in the statement in faith mind. You can't use activity to produce stillness. That would be activity. Yeah? You can't use mind to seek mind. You can, but you can't in a way because you are mind. So you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. You can't use light to seek the light. You can't use mind to seek the mind. And so everyone will swear, I swear, okay? But you realize Paul, in a sense, using Buddhism to acquire what it thinks are the attributes of the Buddha could be seen as, yes, the Buddha using itself to find itself because you're not Paul. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what happens. You've entertained these ideas. Now you go to a same old, and you see it completely different. Hallelujah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's
See, a
like
lot
it's
of
the
times, it's sort of the way I used to try to describe it is sort of like here you are in a situation and then it drops like 20 feet. But the whole thing, you're not left there. The whole thing drops. So it's almost not noticeable. You only find out like you start going, wait a minute, you're just feeling completely different, though everything looks like it used to, but something has changed. Yeah. Yes.
yeah
Not outside. Voila. Yeah.
yeah it's very subtle. It just creeps up on you.
Yes, but that which creeps up on you is like an echo of something that is, there's a note that always plays, and it's just an echo of it on the surface, yeah? But that
Yeah.
note always is playing, yeah? Yeah, you're
Yeah.
on to something. That's why we say, the horse is in front of the cart, like Zen would say. You start seeing blue is blue and red is red. There's a clarity that isn't produced but is accessed. It's now showing up. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's cool. Thanks for the report.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks, Robert. And Ron?
This isn't just intellectual gymnastics. We're sharing out of a relief. Yeah. And
Yeah.
sharing about what was not allowing a relief to stabilize. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is mental activity. Yeah, with the interest and attention that we represent devoted to that mental activity. Really, it's like talk about an addiction. It's the mental addiction to this idea of being the doer, the thinker, the feeler. That's really the addiction. The picturing as a body is just a way for something to be obsessed over and remembered, but it's actually the ownership of what's happening. Yeah, actually the ownership of replacing the conscious contact with Paul being in contact. Yeah, a dead idea that doesn't have a life, but it gets a reflected life. Yes, by the claiming of what's happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that just gets straightened out, and when it gets straightened out, in fact, there was no need to straighten it out because it really was never out of joint. It just seemed to be. Yeah, it appeared to us that it was, and that's why all it needs to is stop appearing to be to us that it is. Yeah, once it stops appearing, that which is there when it stops appearing to be you tells you it's always been this way. Yeah, all that I
Mm.
thought I did that needs to be undone, nothing ever happened. Literally, nothing has added an inch between what I am and what I am. Nothing. Yeah. It's appearing like a lot of shit could and did and will, but in fact it doesn't. Yeah. To
Yeah.
me, that's an incredible Well, thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Paul.
Anyone else, Mike?
Yeah, John.
John?
Hey, Paul. How you going?
Good. Let me find.
John Reed. Yeah.
Oh, John from yes.
Yeah. There's a couple of things coming up. So I'm hearing what you're saying, and there seems to be the Johnness of this character is kind of fading off. A bit like Robert was saying, you know, like the perception has changed. And now I'm not sure where it's coming from, but there seems to be some kind of thing going on about being of service in this modality. Pull me up if I'm right, you know. And when that came in, it was like fucking the terror which followed it was like, no, not me. I don't want to do that. And then this stuff about, and I hope I'm not treading on toes here, but Course in Miracles has come up in, I don't know, just some stuff. And it's like, and I recognize what you're saying, like there's no journey. So in itself, that would be a falsity anyway. And do I want to embark on some kind of journey that I already know is a failing or prolonging, possibly? I don't know if I'm making sense. I just thought I'd throw that out as there's no one with their hand up at the moment. And is there a question there? Yeah, it's like, no, I don't really have a question. It was just, that's what's going on.
Yeah. Well, you know, John, for me, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say how it's going to be for anyone else, but in my experience, the idea of service is a natural expression of that. Yeah, you're just because the idea of I've got to get present or I've got to be a certain way to be present. No, you just realize you're present. Yeah, it doesn't matter what qualities are hanging out or not. You're present, and that not meaning Paul's present. We're just present. You know, we're on now, and then that makes this opportunity an availability. It's available to what's happening, and therefore, to me, that's the heart of service is presence and availability. So it's if you wanted to see our nature in manifestation, I would see it as service. Yeah, in a way. Yeah. So and it finds you in a way the of service doing service is offered, but then the of service will find you, and then the definition of what service is and what it ain't will be blurred, and there'll be just it's just a simple recognition of, like we say in AA, you have it by giving it away. Yeah, it's a certain, it's just because would you know, you can give away what's always there. You can give away until the fucking cows come home. They're still going to be always there. Yeah, there's no quantity or it's not like it's not going to run out. So basically, in a way, the attitude is you have it by giving it away, and the giving it away is presence and availability. Yeah, in other words, the store is always open, so to speak. Yeah. 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 It doesn't have set hours. It's just always open. You're always on. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I'm happy to hear the two reports today. That's good, John.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Just while you're there, there seems to be, so I think I'm asleep, but I'm kind of watching myself sleep.
Oh, at night? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the
Okay.
body goes to sleep. My girlfriend has been arguing with me for years because when I snore, I'm awake. But she says, I know you're not awake because you're snoring. But I said, no, I can hear myself snoring. So we've been going at it for a few years. Some of the times I may be asleep, but a lot of times I'm awake because the body can go to sleep, but the mind doesn't necessarily, go to sleep. I sort of like it, really. You can just stay there because there's a point like when you wake up that's really cool when you have a body experience, but the body's not barking, you know? It's sort of like not moving at all. And but you're having an experience, which means of a body, yet there's the pain and the discomfort sometimes that goes with it isn't there. It's a beautiful space. So I indulge in that when I'm home.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Hey, and I'm sure Brahmi, I hope she had a good time at the retreat, but I saw her there.
I hope so too.
But yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, for that.
Thanks, John. Oh, and so, but you don't deny that you were snoring. Is that right?
No, I don't deny anything.
That's a big difference because the people that I've said, "Hey, you're snoring," and they'll say, "No, I'm not asleep," and they won't. They're snoring.
Oh no, I can hear it. I usually you can tell it comes out of the throat a little bit.
Just had to make sure about that. That's pretty funny. Hey,
Yeah.
Gary. Gary's up.
Because
Hey,
you have the body has like the two nervous systems, yeah? There's the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, I think. And when the parasympathetic lets go, it's yeah. You go into you're in another like rest, so to speak. Doesn't mean you're asleep, but the body uh, that sort of built-in coiledness lets go on a different level. Yeah. All right.
cool. Hi, Paul. This is Gary.
Hey,
Uh,
Gary.
hey, hey. First of all, I want to thank you for your retreat last weekend. It was very refreshing um, because I really appreciated being able to be done with the retreat, and there was nothing to do, no homework.
Yeah.
It was done. I was happy, and
Yeah.
I
That's right.
didn't have to go lay a trip on my wife about how she should be more enlightened now because I don't know, there just was none of that. She nothing to do. It
Yes.
was over when it was over. That was cool.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. That's good to notice that. Yes.
And she said, "I you seemed lighter afterwards. What more could I ask for, right?"
What more could you ask for? Exactly. Yeah,
So go
I
ahead.
thought it was short and sweet in a weird way, really.
It did go by pretty fast for me too.
Yeah, yeah, it was sped right through.
I like that. Go
Usually
ahead.
when I do it in a live venue like Toronto, I take I they have to really have me promise I'll be back after lunch because I usually leave and we spend a couple of hours away and then I get back and there's these people sitting there waiting. So I was on
We're
time
here.
every break in this retreat on Zoom. Zoom
Yeah,
is bringing out a better Paul.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was all good. I really liked being able to go home and be done with it. No homework, no heavy burden, nothing to do. Just a very light experience. Thank you.
Well, great, thank you. Yes, that's hopefully that won't be contained just in an experience. It'll be the influence of all your experiences. Yeah, that's the whole point of traveling lighter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I did have a question or a comment about what your introduction, because it's like I got the image of selfing is like an eddy in the water. It's not really a thing, but it's sort of like a pattern of energy, and I can somehow increase it by believing it or focusing on it. And what I noticed was many times in my life I've gone back to past events, like maybe like, oh, I wish I hooked up with that girl when I had a chance, or I wish I hadn't done that when I did. And what came to me is like, because I told this to a friend of mine. I thought, I could go back and cure my life by redoing it correctly somehow by, I don't know, with some inner work. And a friend of mine who's pretty good said, I don't think that's going to work. And so when you were talking, I was thinking, really, when I go back and I try to recreate a past event and do it right again, I'm doing it all. I'm doing this. The selfing pattern is happening. I'm just recreating that selfing pattern in the present, thinking it was then, but it's now.
Yeah.
Redoing it all over again, and there's nothing to be gained by it. I don't know. Does that make any sense? Can you have any
Yes, it
comment
does. And
around
just
that?
just apply the same sense you had about the retreat to that.
When it's over, it's over.
It's over now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, sometimes mind gets something and then the mental state claims it and then it thinks it got something and then it just drags it fucking out. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? It wants to describe what the lightning bolt looked like, how long, it's just forget it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
If
certainly experienced.
the way you live the retreat is sort of a cool way to live it every day in a sense. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
things,
Very light.
there's a lot of, yeah, there's a lot of endings and beginnings. I remember over the years going on tours, and people would ask me when I got home, how was it? And I would say it's over, So after a while, no one ever asked me how it was anymore because it really feels like that. I'm not there. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I sort of
Well,
like
that's
that.
good.
I sort of, yeah. I don't know how traveling lighter will look as an individual expression, but I know the essence of it. Yeah. So, and it's nice to watch when it expresses, in an individualized way through people, because it may be different than how it's expressing in this event, but it's really cool. The the basis of it is so sound. It's nice to see. Yeah. Yeah. How much. Remember when you were a kid, you just rush into a room, and then there was a day that you walked into the room and you thought about walking into the room, and every room you ever walked into after that, the same shit happened. You'd walk in and start thinking about, did someone see me? You know what I mean? There was a part of your own life experience that there was a lot of you absent from. Yeah. You would
Yeah.
do
Yeah. Yeah.
things and there would be no one accompaniment, like a fucking mental chaperone telling you whatever. Like for me, going in the ocean always has that effect. Yeah. There's no Paul, nothing. There's just in the ocean. There's in the oceaning. Yeah. And I remember that when I was young and how it slowly got turned into a life happening to me, you know, me walking into a room, me leaving a room. It's just, and it would always, it was like these mental asteroids or comets that just had long tails, you know? Nothing was fucking clean. It was just on and on and on and on and on, you know? So it's nice that you went to a retreat, it was over, there was nothing else to do. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. I
Yeah.
see a lot of the days now like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I don't need, see, because I'm actually in the act of doing something, I don't need the narration that I'm doing something. You know what I mean? It's obvious I'm at a store. I don't need someone to say, "Hey, you're at a store." I mean, the narrative thinks I'm so out to lunch, it's got to fucking tell me. You know, it's insane. So, so there's a huge difference than going to a store and you're in a store. It's hugely different. Yeah, it is. Because
Yeah.
it's like this. There's a going, then store, then leaving. There isn't like a huge story. Yes? I'm getting ready to go to the store. I'm approaching the store. I'm in the store. Why should I or shouldn't I be in the store? Oh, I should never have gone. You know what I mean? No, it's like you leave the store. All's left in the store that's of the store. Now you can't do that, but you can express it. But you can't do it. You couldn't sit out and do this, but you can surely observe it and express it. Because there's an expression and then you observe it. Wow. Yeah. A lot of things are very clean. You're doing it, then you're not doing it. Yeah. Then you're doing something else, seemingly. Yeah. It's very clean. But this narrative goes on and on and on that brings up 1985 and 2021. Yes, it's unbelievable what it will
Yeah.
drag into the moment. What it will drag into the store is unfucking believable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
An
this is
anchor in
Traveling
the middle
Lighter.
of a light day.
Traveling Lighter is a many splendid event. Just trying to point it out from my own experience. Traveling Lighter, man, you could. It's not like there's a mental accountant accumulating zeros about it. Yeah, that's part of the traveling lighter. The mental accountant has been sent out to lunch. Yeah, it's just living. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. More about what's not going on. There's so much not going on. That's so, how good is that?
yes, exactly. That's the it. What's not going on is not going on during your going on, so to speak. Yes,
Yeah.
that's cool. I mean, if you could sell it, if you could give someone a sample for 5 minutes, like insert this pause, let them have the sense of lightness, then the pause would be extracted. You could sell a fucking incredible product. People would fucking spend a lot of money if you had, all right, here's what it's like traveling later for 5 minutes, yeah. Extract it, then the old cloud shows up again. Then wow, they would be fucking that the you that they're not would fucking be paying up the nose for something. Shit. Yeah. But the funny thing is, the one who would want to buy that product is what gets dismissed by the product. Yeah. Yeah. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of the message. Yeah.
I just bought the product, but I don't get to receive it.
No. That's the point. There's
I'm,
it, it wasn't you that was losing everything, it's a loss of you. That's where it really lies. Yeah. The stubbornness is that you wants to be there to experience its own absence. It does. It wants it would love to have an experience of its absence as long as it was there. And it's trying to figure out how that can happen, and it just won't fucking give it up. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't. So you better get that. You're not going to convince a mechanical reaction to stop.
That's what I wanted to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Don't yeah. I think wasn't Ulysses if he looked back with the siren song, he would sort of be captured. It's similar. I think it's very symbolic of the mental state, singing its love song about you, I, me, and my. And all you need to, if you don't look back, it's as if nothing's fucking happening. Yeah. 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 How is that going to become
Yeah.
a condition? Is a loss of interest in it. See? He thought they were singing to Ulysses, so he was probably extremely interested in it. Yeah. They were just fucking singing in a way. He made it all about him by looking back, so to speak. Yes? Like we
Yeah.
always do. We always do.
Mm.
Yeah. And we don't see our role in it. We don't. And then we want to get out of what we think we're in. Yeah. But there was a role we played. Yeah. And what's playing it is interest and attention. And we can tell the truth about the distribution of it now, but we can't direct it. Yeah. But by telling the truth about it and recognizing you're not that which it's being obsessed over, then the obsession dismisses. Yeah. And that interest and attention goes other places and may not go anywhere. And to me, that's the presence, really. That's what you're sensing is undirected attention and interest. Yeah. Interest and attention that is present and readily available. To go to the hummingbird when the hummingbird appears. Yeah. To recognize, hey, someone I'm talking with is not doing well. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. But if the attention and interest is constantly enslaved to this imaginary object that's being obsessed over all day, yes, it can seem like you're out to lunch, really.
Yeah. For a lifetime.
Yes. So, yeah. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Gary. And Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Hi, Paul. Thank you.
Hey, Jennifer. I'm trying to find you.
I put her on speaker. You.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm not sure how to speak about this. And there's a lot of nervousness here, so we'll see how this goes.
It's going great now.
Yeah. I think I'd like to report that there's a lot of not knowing, a lot of not knowing, and you have said many times in meetings, don't get off the operating table. What I feel like I'm experiencing is something is, these are just descriptive words to try to describe it. Something is saying, don't move. And selfing still happens, and I can feel like shells of pain, shells, not like anything is really experiencing the pain like before, just shells of pain in the selfing. And sometimes I can experience a confusion, a scrambling, you know, which I am assuming is the old system, you know, really getting scrambled, rewired, you know, rewired, and attempting to grab itself. And yet something in me, just for lack of better description, is saying don't move, don't get off the operating table. And it is a lot of not knowing, and the world feels different and I feel different. And sometimes and I think I can use the word I because I think it is some shell of self, wants to reject everything. And hold on, because this is sort of, oh, yeah. It's like it's expecting in this not knowing it, the I, the selfing, the me, whatever. It's like it's expecting in the not knowing for a different me to show up. That is the absence, that is the presence, that, you know, and it never shows up. It never shows up. It never shows up. And then the me keeps getting, I don't know, has its story around that, or rejects itself, rejects the world, whatever. I mean, as I describe it, I like that there's humor coming through in it, that I can feel, you know, I can feel the beauty in what's happening, because what it's sharing with me is that there's nowhere to go here. You know, there's no one else to be, there's nothing else to be. And even the shells of selfing coming and going somehow are part of this staying put. And I don't know if, I don't think I have a question. I think I just wanted to try sharing from this place. And it feels like a big transition or a big transformation, but it is such a whisper. It is so silent. It is so imageless. It's so quiet. It's so steady. It's so deep. It's like dramatic and not dramatic all at once, you know? Let's see, I think that's it.
That was one hell of a share, Jennifer. Thank you. Yeah. And the beat goes on. That's good. Very good. Thanks. We could end the meeting now, really, but we'll continue on. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to say it's Jennifer from Arizona. I'll have to find something else now. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Jennifer. Art.
Art has returned on having never left. All right. All right.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth, Paul. Yeah. Gone, gone, gone to the other shore, upon having never left.
Well, on arriving, on having never left. Yeah.
On arriving, yeah.
Yeah. There was a value going to the other shore, because upon arriving, on having never left. So in that little dreamscape, going to the other shore was sort of necessary for something to play out. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't necessary, but it was necessary for something to play out, because let's say there's a presentation in time of what's always here, sometimes it becomes noticed by thinking you arrived at another mythical here and then recognizing on having never left. Yeah.
Still here?
Yeah. Yeah, Paul. I remember that was your answer to one of the first things I asked you last August or September, was something about, or something you were just saying in your speech that day before I asked, but it was something about this, maybe you'll see something or experience something and you'll see that's what you're not. And in the seeing that that's not what you're not, something else may be seen.
Well, yeah, or no, yeah, like an awareness type seeing. Yes, yes, yeah. That's how it's worked with me. I was introduced to, let's say, one way of presenting non-duality, and something was amiss there, and then I was introduced to a negation way of non-duality, and that's worked for me. Yeah, it's just, and it's open to be reviewed, but it keeps working. Yeah, and I felt like if you put any kind of direction on the last answer, it was a negation. Yeah, because there was something going on that was not being noticed sufficiently, that was playing a huge role of a lack of living and a lot of an interpretation, so to speak. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of life's happening, it was life's happening to me, and I don't know. The negation works. So therefore, basically, it's in seeing what you're not that you find out what you are. Yeah. Instead of using what you're not to look for what you are, you see what you're not from what you are. Yeah. Just simple. But it's a basis I haven't moved from in the seed assignment for years. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I'm a
I,
true believer. I'm a true believer in negation. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't see it any other way because of the activity of the obscuring is an identification as something you're not. Yeah. So obviously, if you understand that, then the solution's obvious. You couldn't use a description of what you are because it won't convince what you're not. All it will do is reinforce what you're not needing to be convinced. Yeah. It just doesn't work. So, because I heard it presented in that way of all I am is consciousness, I'm inherently empty, but that wasn't how I was feeling all day. Yeah. And that feeling was assumed just to be a fact. And then the fact of what I was hearing about just wasn't landing. Yeah. So I had to get a fact about the hearing of the message. Yeah. I needed to get clear what's going on when a message is heard. More than what message is being heard, what's going on when a message is heard. That to me seemed to have more value than all the messages, really. Yeah, that I could hear.
And and that's the claiming, yes.
Yes, to see that there is an activity that is of time and in time. Yeah, the the claiming of verbing takes a little bit of time, and then using that claiming to imply something takes a little bit of time. Yeah, but any little bit of time is not of timelessness. Yeah, it's of time. No matter if it's a second or 3 seconds or 80 years, yeah? And we're not of time. So I am not a manufactured thing, yeah? Yeah. So, but to have that understanding as the manufactured thing doesn't go anywhere, in my experience with people, yeah? A lot of people know they're not a person, but they know it as a person. It doesn't go anywhere. Yeah? They have an idea of a non-self as a self. That doesn't go anywhere. Yeah? So let's just see if there is an activity that, let's give it the term selfing, and let's see that the basis of that activity is a movement of claiming. Yeah? And get to see how it arrives at its product. Yeah? And then realize that you seem to keep subscribing to that product. Yeah, yeah, and now you have the possibility of unsubscribing because you're not the product. Yeah. Yeah. It has a lot to do with you're not that, because that's really starts the migration of interest and attention away from that activity of selfing. It does, yeah. Because it's not about you. The whole premise that keeps us going back to it all the time is that it's about us, yeah. When that's taken out from the platform isn't that attractive, really. Yeah. Yeah, it isn't.
Yeah.
All right, Art, thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
I like the background, Art.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. I didn't know I was going to enter the light through art, but whatever.
Follow the light.
I'll take it. I'll go right through it. Yeah. All right, Mike.
You start. And Sanda.
Sanda, the lovely lady of Tiruvannamalai.
Sanda? Oops. She disappeared. I think she accidentally.
She went into the void.
And Debbie.
Send George back. Send George in the void. He's from it. Where is he?
Send him after her, okay.
Yeah, send him after her.
And Debbie has her hand up too.
All right.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I started trying to listen very intently, which is somewhat difficult for me to do lately, but it's really nice to be attending and to hear this all again as intensely as I can, because I've missed the repetition. You know, I moved away from where I wanted to be. I landed somewhere I'm not happy at. And I think I was telling you, Paul, the other day that I got off of Facebook. You know, there's a lot of people in this little 500,000, you know, there's like 500,000 people here. And I went to high school with them, and I have this story. Okay, so I have this story about what Debbie did here, and everyone, you know, is wanting to know, where the hell's Debbie? Why isn't she on Facebook? What's she up to? Blah, 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 blah. I don't want anyone to know where I'm at. I don't want anyone to know. I don't want that old story that Debbie drug around for a long time to be with me anymore. I don't like it. I want it to go away. And so my way of dealing with that, after I spent a lot of time and years listening to you, was to say, I'm a present tense verb. Don't lay any crap out on me that I'm what I used to be 20 years ago or even 30 years ago. I'm a present tense verb. I'm not that anymore. And so I mean, you kind of get what I'm trying to say here, or because I'm questioning, people don't like it when I say to my kids or other people, that's not, who I was then is not who I am now. You know, and when I lay out the present tense verb thing, they're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah. I would skip the present tense verb.
You
Just
would?
say you don't want to be on Facebook. That's all right. Take a
Yeah.
Why don't you post that you're totally okay and you'll be back shortly? Yeah?
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
it's
it,
much deeper than that.
you know, you need a break, so you need to take a break. Yeah.
Well, it's been a 2-year break, so it's been a long break. But
Well, good. Maybe you'll never go, you won't go back. Just do it a day at a time, like recovery.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of answered that in your last conversation with the person that was speaking before me. I was, I think there were a lot of similarities in what we were both saying. Um, so anyway, yeah, I guess that's what I
That's the
had.
thing, you know, everyone hears the message differently, and what I thought I was saying may not be what you hear, and then it'll help. But it's very, uh, it's applicable however you hear it. So just to let it apply. Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Yeah. You know,
thanks.
there's a thing in AA we say, practice these principles in all your affairs. And I used to have a little add on, and if you can't, limit your affairs. So, what Facebook is a glorification of an individual or whatever, isn't it? I mean, you're trying to post about you all day. So it
Yeah.
could be seen as almost I don't know, I've never been that excited about it, you know? So yeah, but
Nor am I. I guess it's just I'm trying to get back into the whole routine of what I used to do with you and the way that I grew and became much more comfortable with the
yeah.
self or no self was through I had to do this, the repetition. I could not stop in and do this like once a month. I mean, it had to be like you do it, which is quite often, almost every day. So I need to get back to that again, or at least I feel like I need to do that a lot again because it worked for me when I listened to it all the time.
Well, there you go then. So that's nice to know what you need to do. And it's possible you can do it. We have tons of Zooms.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
All
There
right.
was
Well, thank you.
And you know, you're a full, lifetime member of Zen Bitch Slap, and there's people that hang out after the talk, and then we have tomorrow morning is the recovery talk, and there's a lot of people there. So you get a sense of community. There's a lot available. So
Right.
welcome back, and just nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, you're welcome, honey. Yeah, you're in good hands. You're a lifetime member of Zen Bitch Slap.
Yes, I know that. I'm fully aware of that. Thank you.
Yeah, so if
Very, very,
yeah,
very appreciative.
yeah. When did I meet you? When did we meet? How long ago?
That would have been in 2005.
2005, so 16 years. Yeah. You yeah. You saw the glory of the dry dock days.
Yes, I did. I loved it.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I hold that dearly to my heart. That will always mean a lot to me.
Yes. Yeah. They were yeah. All right, thanks, honey.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you.
And Brahmi is up.
Brahmi.
Hi.
Hey, Brahmi.
Hi. Can you hear?
Yep.
Okay. So there's a lot of arrogating going on today.
A
Some
lot.
situations, arrogating. Uh, and so there's some situations going on that are just challenging because they're selfing, essentially arrogating, like it's everything that's coming up is just how it's going to affect this, how it's going to affect me. So I guess my question is something one man asked last year, and I need to be told again. What am I not?
You're not a long lasting, independent, separate entity. Yes?
Yes.
Now, that's how we're appearing, yes? But appearing doesn't make it so, yes?
Yes.
So what is before the long-lasting, independent, separate entity that allows the long-lasting, independent, separate entity to be entertained? What is that light? Yeah. It's definitely not your light or my light. Yeah. It's before any you and yours. Yeah. You and
Yeah.
them. Yeah. Yeah. When does it have, do we ever see it arriving late?
Always there.
Yes. Or it doesn't take off early, does it? And then you have to clean up the mess? No?
Cleaning up some mess, but it's definitely not
Yes, but
dramatic.
it's not of that. It's not of that. Yes. So
That's right.
basically, there is something that we can't know. Yeah. We can't see, we can't hear, we can't feel, we can't taste, we can't touch, yet we are all the touching, the feeling, the seeing, yes, the hearing. Yeah. It doesn't take much at all on even an intellectual level to realize conceptually what you are, but it's much more important to realize what you're not. Yes? Because you cannot realize what you are. Yeah?
Correct.
That's the beauty
Who
of
would do
it.
that?
Hmm?
Who would do that, right?
Exactly. The only who that would do that is the who comprised as what you're not. Yeah? So we just want to see we're not that, and then all that tension and coiled upness that triggers so many other movements will relax. Yeah? We'll chill
Yeah.
out. And then maybe instead of living a very high lens, concentrated, telescopic look, we get a panoramic view. Yeah? Yes. Because how you can see something that's always there is not by looking for it. Yeah?
Right.
Uh, uh, yeah. Yes?
Yeah. There seems to have definitely been a ceasing of looking for something, but that seeming experience that I'm looking from is hanging out.
Well, of course. That's good. You can see it clearer then.
Yeah, but the veils of who the person thinks it is like shading, obviously, shading everything. But that's the selfing, yeah.
Yeah, see, but let's just go to that statement. It's shading, but it can't shade everything because it's everything that's noticing the shading.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yes? So that which
Yeah.
is saying it's shading everything is being noticed by what we are. Yeah? So
Yeah.
it ain't shading that, is it?
It's not shading that.
No, and nor will it ever shade that.
Yeah.
Nor has it ever shaded that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, so you can hold what you're not from what you are. And maybe you won't see it in the way we see it when there's a little bit of us holding what we're not. Yeah?
Say
Maybe
one more time.
there'll be, see, when it's what you're not holding knowledge about what you're not, it has
Yeah.
certain reactions. When
Yeah.
it's what we are holding knowledge about what we're not, the reactions will be different.
Yeah.
I would say acceptance. Yeah. A lot of things that are their nature is to come and go, and they're just begging to go. It's this gravitational pull that's keeping them here. Yeah. Yes?
Yes.
So, again, honey, you're in good hands also. Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And you can always, you know, you can always get in touch with me and other people. And yeah. So, like we say in AA, one of the great things is we're all not insane at the same time. Yeah. So there'll be somebody being used by clarity. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah. Nice to see you, honey.
Good to see you too.
Yep.
Thanks, Brahmi. I was just thinking today about an add-on for me is not a long-lasting, independent, separate, special thing. The first three are meaningless without making it special, right? Like I don't want to be long-lasting, I don't want to be independent, I don't want to be separate. But if I add special to it, then I have to have those things.
That's right. And then the what do you call it? The quicker way of saying special is me.
I'll call it the coronation. Panda's back.
Yeah. I see special in everything. The me is that coronation of a you, me, huge, huge. Gets raised to an imaginary different pay scale. That's what's so confusing. No one's seeing how special I am.
It reminds me of the idea of forgiveness in Course of Miracles. That we're all pissed off that you're me too. You're a me too.
Oh, that's great.
And Senda made it back.
Who? Oh, good. See if she maybe she got her answer somewhere else. That's good.
Let's see what she found. Are you there? Yeah.
She wants to.
Senda, can you hear us? Oh, you're still muted. She's trying to talk. Still muted.
Oh, I see her now.
I put her on speaker view too. There we go.
Sanda, I think you're on.
Yes, yes. Yeah, on whatever.
Oh, it's very low. I'm bringing the Zoom up to my ears. No.
Okay. I will put it maybe like this. Is it better
Oh,
now?
that's better. Better. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. This is really, I cannot put it in the words. The gratitude.
Well, it goes back at you too, honey. Thank you. It's always a pleasure having you in the Zoom. Yeah.
Yeah.
My two Indian twins, Rami and Sanda. Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. It's incredible. And not happening.
Mm.
Oops.
Yeah. And also so moved by the Jennifer talk before.
Yes, beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah. Yeah, that's all. What came on to my mind, only what I want to share is the expression of Ramana. Looks like it's from Ramana. The world or self is the child of the barren woman.
Yes, we're all children of a barren woman. Yeah. One of my favorite sayings.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. That's sort of like Deb's thing with I'm a present tense verb. Yeah, that one a lot of people don't get right away. We're all children of a barren mother. They're like, what? Yeah. Doesn't work well with baby showers or one of those. That's not the place. No. Well, good. We're always happy to see you, honey. Thank you so much. Yes.
Yes,
Thanks for
thank
all
you.
the support too. We have another question.
Next, Senda. No other
Yeah,
hands up.
but
Then maybe we can end it today. We'll say goodbye.
I have one question. Does anybody ever ask you how your Zoom meeting went?
No, because Amelia's the only one here, and she doesn't have any interest in it.
Who's always on it?
These Zooms, well, whatever. All right, let me say hello to Mary. Mary G. Nice to see you, Mary. What happened? I just lost you. Hold on. I have to start here. All right, so there's Mike Z. There's my dynamic duo, Judith and Kerry, over in Hawaii. Nice to see you,
Nice
folks.
to see you.
We are coming there. Don't worry, Judith. We will be there sometime. Yeah.
Not plan for
Maybe
it.
maybe as ashes, maybe as a vertical person. Who knows? But
I
we'll
plan
be
for it every day, Paul.
we'll be there. Yes. Debbie, nice to see you again. Don't take yourself so seriously, honey. All right. We got Susan. Susan has risen. Yes, he's almost up shin level. That must have been a very good Zoom tonight. I can tell how good the meeting was by how far Susan's head has risen. That's pretty good. Pretty good. We got Tyler. Tyler E. Have you been here before?
No, this is my first time.
Oh, well, welcome, Tyler. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me here.
Well, I hope I see you again. Yeah.
Likewise.
All right. We got Robert F. from New Zealand. Nice to see you as always, Robert.
Thanks,
See,
Paul.
isn't that lovely to see things totally in a new way?
Yep.
Yeah. Such a contrast, drama to comedy. Yeah. I just love it. All right. Bernard, as always. Well, you're well lit again, Bernard. Nice to see you. Yes. I don't know if you're well behaved, but you're well lit. Which is good. We got hey Gary, that was very nice report about the retreat. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank
It
you.
had the spirit of Zen Bitch Slap. Yes. Yeah.
Sure did.
Here's Mary again. Mary G. Nice to see you. Yes, we got George from the Void. I thought we were gonna send you to find Sanda, but she came back on her own, George. All right.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, we
Great.
may need you though. I don't know how far my rope can get in the void. We may need you to go under. All right.
I hope it reaches.
Nice to see you, Kenneth. Toronto, Vancouver, now here, yes. We got Linda. Always a pleasure, Linda. Very nice to see you. Thanks for all the love. Never be confused about what's coming out of you, Linda. We pick it up. Yes, yes. We got Stefan on Having Never Left. Always a pleasure to see him. Z, my main man, down at the lagoon. Yes. I hope you got the flat tire fixed and everything. We got Taj. Yes, nice to see you, Taj. He's washed up after a retreat on the shores of Zen Bitch Slap. What a lucky man you are. Yeah. We got Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer, so much. Yes, that's all I can say. Very nice. Yeah. We got my friend Lotta. Lotta from the Netherlands. Yes. Yes. I'm going to have to go there, I think, and lay a big Zen bitch on his ass one day. Yes.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm just going to knock on the door. You're going to answer it. Wah! And then I'm going back to America.
Once
Maybe
again.
rent a bicycle in Amsterdam for a while. All right. Let's see who else. We got Alan. Always a pleasure. Nice to see you. He's in the right position to get the message. That's good. Prone. Prone is good. We got John K.
Hey, Paul.
All right. And then the lovely Amelia D. Nardo. Yes. Yes. We can just stop there, but no, there's others. We got Art, we got Sanda, Jack G coming out of the dark. Nice to see you, Jack. Johannes, as always. Kaiser, I hope to see you tomorrow, Kaiser. Yes? Another ass kicking 12-step meeting. How many can come out of the whole situation? Yeah. We have Vlad. Very nice to see you, Vlad. Thank you for your musical contribution to the site. It's
Thank
up
you.
there for people to listen to. Beautiful. Always a pleasure. Let's see. We got Brahmi. Brahmi brought a little drop of the Ganges to us through a video. We appreciate it very much. Yes? Yes. We got, let's see, we got the same people. Saga from Toronto has reappeared. Yes, Julie, there. We got Susanna. Susanna, I'm going to mention it to that lady tomorrow from Chicago, okay? Okay, she understands. John B, John R, John Reed. All right, see you, John. Take it easy.
You too. Thank you very much.
I'll see you soon.
I hope so.
Yes. All right. All right. I think that's it. Thank everyone for this wonderful evening. Yes.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you,
Yes.
Paul.
I'll see the
Thanks,
guys
Thanks,
on
everybody.
everyone.
Saturday, and yes. See you later.
Bye,
Bye bye.
everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.